So I don't know if you guys saw this message from Ashley St. Clair, a pretty hard right conservative, we'll just say commentator on the internet. So she made this post with the message Alia lacta est, which is Latin, and it's the Latin words for the die is cast, representing, you know, what the famous Roman emperor said as he crossed the Rubicon. You know, as in, you know, very famous Roman phrase. I don't know why she's opening this up with LARPing, as if she's Caesar, and this is, and her getting knocked up is crossing the Rubicon. See, like with Julius Caesar, he had to make a conscious decision to defy the Senate and crossing the Rubicon. When he crossed the Rubicon with his armies in Italy, when he crossed that river, it was a symbol. It was a political rejection of the power of the Senate, and him making a bet, casting the dice as he bet everything, because he would be taken, he would be executed, and not only would he be executed, he'd be executed brutally for treason against Rome, treason against the Senate, and it would be done in a public fashion. Many of his conspirators would likely meet a similar end, and not only that, but it could also leave Rome heavily damaged, and so it would also deeply damage his legacy as a. I mean, he's casting the die, right? The die is cast, but on the other end, you know, he could end up as an extremely powerful fellow and try to fix what he thinks is the wrongs of the Senate, and yet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? The die is cast. It could go good, it can go bad, etc. You got knocked up by Elon Musk. Okay? What's the comparative equivalent? You know, if Ashley St. Clair was outside of I don't know, let's say she was right now, she was in Kherson, and she took a picture of her with a bunch of Marines from Azov and all these guys from across the Ukrainian military, and they were crossing the river and they were about to do the shock offensive, you know, shock offensive. They're gonna cross to the Azov Sea. Oh my God. And then she posted this and be like, okay, that makes sense. He got knocked up. Okay. I don't know if this is bad to say. Okay. I don't know if this will be received positively, but crossing the Rubicon is not like spreading your legs. Okay. Getting pregnant is not the same. Now, raising a kid that ends up doing something incredible, hey, okay, you know, that maybe that's something that, woohoo. But this is not crossing the Rubicon. Calm down. Let me read you the message though, because I haven't even gotten to it. Ashley St. Clair announces that she got knocked up by Elon Musk. 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days, it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of what harm it will cause. Now, I've looked around for it. I haven't found what media this is that was going to expose this publicly. She has not said it publicly. She has not announced it. She did an interview with the New York Post after this, which kind of, you know, confuses me as to, oh, I don't want all this publicity. But so I have to come out of public though, because the dastardly media, just like they inflicted tragedy upon the British royal family, they're inflicting tragedy upon me, and then you immediately do an interview with the New York Post. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I can understand that maybe she wants to get the narrative out first now, but it confuses me as to intentions. God, I'm being too good faith. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. Now, I don't know what the media is going to do with this child, okay? It's one thing to cover maybe Ashley St. Clair, the fact that Elon Musk got another person pregnant out of wedlock while being the main financier for the conservative right, parts of which are, you know, making pushes to like push family values, and not the type of family values that's like, hey, you know, we're going to make sure that no kid goes to their classroom hungry, Everybody gets a meal when they go to school, but the type of family values of like, I don't know about those two mommies or the two daddies, and I don't know because after hearing what Clarence Thomas had to say about the gay marriage decision and what some in Oklahoma and some states are doing to try to challenge the courts on it, and the balance of the court currently, and how Roe versus Wade went, it's one thing to say, oh, that's impossible, maybe in 2019 and 2020, but considering the precedent that's been set since then, I don't know. But so I think from a family values angle, it deserves some coverage from, look, these people project the values that we all have to live by, while Clarence Thomas, of course, has his history with sexual, we'll just say misbehavior that was not within the bounds of, we'll say, probably what Jesus did as he walked the earth. At least in relation to the Bible that I read growing up. Same thing is true for Donald Trump a million times over. This is a man who cheated on his wife while she was pregnant with his son, and then paid the money to cover it up while running for office. That's what one of the original lawsuits that he was getting tied up in, one of the many that eventually led it to him to being a multiple convicted felon, convicted on multiple counts, that is. And then you have, who else? We've got Elon Musk knocking up 13, 14 babies, many of them out of wedlock, and then has to get publicly hounded in order to get their attention. When I say publicly hounded, let me show you what happened after this was announced, because Elon Musk has yet to publicly acknowledge really much of this. And when I say publicly acknowledge, I mean like, hey, here's a statement, or yes, this is my kid, I'm gonna take care of it in XYZ way. We haven't gotten anything like that. This is the closest we've gotten. And let's take a big right turn. Milo Yiannopoulos. Some of you might remember him. He was, supposed to be like, oh, he's a provocative, conservative, controversial homosexual, and he says the slurs, and he says the crazy things about feminists and their blue hair, and he was conservative, he was controversial, and a Molotov cocktail for free speech. And then he said some things about pastors and little boys, and then everybody seemed to forget his number. And then he came back, and he's no longer a homosexual. He was doing promotional material on Christian networks to buy Mary and Joseph statues on those telethon, oh, we're selling this and we're selling that, and it was just sad. But deep in Milo, he is still a mischievous little homosexual, and so he cannot stop himself from kicking up that drama. It's just not in his nature. You go watch his recent showing on Tim Pool when him and Tim Pool went at it, and I don't know if we'll watch that on the channel. It's quite funny. But he just cannot help himself until he made this post, given the recent updates. And this is a shot, an image of a Ashley St. Clair post from May of 2020. Ashley St. Clair plotted for half a decade to ensnare Elon Musk, is what he says. Remember, this is 5 years ago. I know it's hard to think that 2020 is 5 years ago, but this is 5 years ago. I need it to get Elon Musk attention for a marriage proposal, please, Greg. Somebody throwing this at Greg Price. Down to Greg Price. He's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely to work out. Then Ashley St. Clair. Well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. Now, look, you can see this as, wow, she was plotting. This was a mischievous plot to get knocked up, and all she was thinking about is how she could slither away into the bed. I mean, you could look at it that way. You could also look at it that she was just attracted to him in some way already, and this was some public display of that for whatever reason, whether it be his power, whether it be his big rockets he shoots into the sky, whether it be just his otherworldly humor. Whatever it is, it could be any number of these. I have no clue, okay? I don't want to get into her head, because on one hand, I could just be like, haha, see, she's a snake in the grass, she's a gold digger, which, if you're getting knocked up by literally the richest man on the planet, the possibility of you being a gold digger is much higher than if you're getting knocked up by the guy who works at Jersey Mike's. Okay, I'm just telling it as it is. Okay, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Elon responded to all of this though, and he just said, "Whoa, whoa," as if he's giving it maybe some credibility. Like, whoa, maybe actually she did ensnare me. Maybe this vixen, this Medusa-like figure came up to me and just her legs. Oh, I just couldn't. I'm sorry. You're the richest man on the planet. You can sleep with many people. In fact, you can probably sleep with much more people than the average person by a mile and a half, just through wealth and influence and power, etc. If you had intercourse with Ashley St. Clair and you got her pregnant, because I have no other gauge to measure this relationship, you were not ensnared. You were not like, oh no, you're supposed to be the really smart guy, okay? Okay? Do not tell me that you actually expect to have some level of influence in managing all this government if you cannot negotiate yourself out of a bedroom with a woman, okay? Please control yourself, sir. She responded to this actually, though. Now, this has been deleted. This has since been deleted, okay? This is not a post that exists anymore. Exactly why it's been deleted, I do not know, but we shall read it anyway, because the internet is forever. Elon, we have been trying to communicate for the past several days, and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old? No honeymoon? Unfortunate. This doesn't really feel like something that's gonna patch things up. Doesn't sound like a happy marriage, that these are gonna be two people walking down the aisle in the near future. Not happy. But this was deleted. This was deleted shortly after. But I mean, what does this imply to you? Let's just assume for a moment this is real. And of course, Elon said basically nothing, and so we have no clue the exact bounds of this. But considering how he's behaved before and how many kids he actually has, it seems very likely that this is all true. Definitely, since he hasn't really. This is the only reaction he's given, is just whoa, whoa, whoa. I like to imagine it's that what's that old Crash Bandicoot? Wow. That's all he's put out into the world in reaction to this. Anyway, if he is this much of an absentee father, he is abandoning his children in order to go out there and tell the public how based it is, as he guts government institutions meant to protect air traffic control and public safety, national parks, tax collection, disease prevention, health regulation. But it's fun and based and cool. Let's do that over the kid. It's just such a sad way to live. You've got one life, and this is what you've decided to do with it. God, man. Anyway, continuing. We've got more here. Here is more from Ashley. Ashley and Elon have been privately working towards the creation of an agreement about raising their child for some time. It is disappointing that a tabloid reporter who repeatedly ambushed Ashley and her family made it impossible to complete that process confidentially. We are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role with Ashley to end unwarranted speculation, and Ashley trusts that Elon's intend to finish their agreement quickly in the best interest of the well-being and security of the child they share. Why was it so hard for her to get in contact with Elon? Because they're saying, oh, they've been working privately. Have they been working privately? If they've been working privately, why did she have to go in public on Twitter, on the platform she owns, and beg him in what he refers to as the public town square? She had to go into the town square and beg on her hands and knees for Elon to come and take responsibility over the child that he made. Ashley and Elon have been working privately towards the creation of an agreement. They're talking about like a merger. Like Like, oh yes, we're gonna be merging Bath Fitters and IKEA in a gigantic merger, trying to see if we can combine it. No, this is not a merger. This is a child. This is a child. Anyway, I wouldn't expect much talk from her publicly on it. On the element that she has deleted. I saw she's already done an interview with the New York Post, so I don't expect her to completely stop talking about it. In fact, though, she did say that she's going to shut up about it. You can see right here, in all sincerity, appreciate the kind words. I wish I did not feel the need to make a statement. Kids should be off limits. We'll be spending time with my family and logging off for a while. Now, I think she's going to keep talking about it, but the reason I don't trust her to like stop talking about it, to like not for attention's sake, or that, oh, you know, maybe she does know how to lie low, it's because she said she's going to be logging off for a while, and within 24 hours, she was back on Twitter posting, can you believe the nerve of this gold digger, and then posted a picture of Zelensky. Of all the people, of all the people, of all the people on God's green earth to breathe the same air as me, to be eaten by the same worms as I, as we rest our eyes, of all the people to call out somebody for quote-unquote gold digging, it's going to be the woman that just got knocked up by the richest man on the planet and then went on to Twitter to beg for a deal. Now, I'm not saying that she's a gold digger, but, okay, look. This is not only embarrassing because of the obvious hypocrisy that maybe she did not see because she really is that stupid, which, if so, God help the child. But it's also funny because she said she was going to log off for 24 hours and she comes back to be like, the Ukrainians want support when their country's being invaded by the largest nation on the planet, which has dumped people into mass graves. What a gold digger. Yeah, a leader gathers resources for his country, goes to nations that they've made agreements with and said, please respect this agreement and support us like you said you would. God, man. Elon's going to have to make up a lot for her and this child, and that's not good. And that's not good. I wish this child the best. I wish this child the best. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Probably can't help herself from bending over for a man to get ahead. Ashley St. Clair. Truly a legendary crossing of the Rubicon. This is the Rubicon crosser.
A curd is a curd.
RS385 has donated $5.
Hey, thank you.
I take it she wasn't invited to live at the baby mama's compound in Texas with Elon's other 22 children and mamas.
Oh my God. I could see him having a compound, training his children up. XJ9, go take R2D2 and Mr. Roboto and you defend the fortress. We have journalists at the front. They want an interview. Do not let them in. Spill the oil. Okay, 1 second. I have this one quote I did want to read from, because I talked about the New York Post interview, and there's one quote that I just wanted to show you how cold this shit is. And the type of stuff that, and honestly, like, I don't want to be too mean to Ashley, because, like, whether she's a gold digger, whether she got genuinely wooed by the masculine wiles of Elon Musk, or just tempted by the power, whatever it was, a weird mistake, whatever. She's now going to have to deal with this. Let me read you this quote from her New York Post interview. I was completely isolated during my pregnancy. Every part of my career and everything I used to do, I couldn't do anymore. Oh, God. What is Mama going to do? We're going to be denied of her quotes about Harris, the baby mama. I was told not to tell anybody, she said. St. Clair had to keep her condition a secret, even from Musk's mother, May Musk, despite the woman having spent time together, the New York Post reported. Can you imagine that? You're talking to Elon Musk's mother. You're in their home. You're pregnant with Musk's child, and you have to just like, oh yeah, well, you know, I've been eating a lot of scones lately. A lot of scones. Drinking just too much tea, you know. The sugar goes straight to my just stomach. This is sad, man. This is sad. Elon Musk's children compound. It's real? Fuck off. No. No. No, it's real? Elon Musk buys $35 million Texas compound for his kids and their mothers. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, has reportedly purchased an Austin mansion for his 11 children, along with adjoining properties for 2 of the 3 mothers of the children. The Tuscan-style compound spans 14,400 square feet. Adjacent to the compound is a 6-bedroom mansion that was also purchased by Musk, according to the public records. $35 million in total value. The New York Times reports Musk has told those close to him that he wants his children and 2 of their mothers on these properties. His younger children can be close to one another, and Musk can more easily spend time with them. Sources close to the Texas billionaire told the Times the new properties are about a 10-minute walk away from Austin mansion he usually stays in. Could you imagine being in the Elon compound? What type of what type of competition? What's the familial relationships like between the Elon? I don't want to speculate about these children. I'm just trying to think, if I'm growing up in an Elon Musk household and I'm like, I want dad to be proud of me. What do I do? Right? There's just basic questions like that. Let's say, I see Billy gets a pat on the head, right? Or what? I'm sorry, this is the Elon we're talking about. I see Microsoft Linux get a high five from dad, and me, GoBot17 wants to get dad's approval. What do? That's the type of stuff that interests me. I don't know. That's what would scare me about being on the compound. Safe community, though, I bet. The mothers, yeah, 2 of them. There might be more than 2 mothers, but I assume not all of them agree to live on the compound. I have no clue if Ashley St. Clair is going to the compound. That is the only piece of information I really want her to tell me, is if she's going to this compound or not. I'm fascinated. But that also means if she goes to the compound, we're going to have somebody really loud and noisy at the compound, meaning that it's only a matter of time before that falls apart and she eventually says, Elon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, if I was to just bet on a weak link in the Elon inner circle on those to protect his image, it's the person who opened up by, going out there in public demanding his attention. Maybe it was for good reason, and he really just wasn't responding to her. Either way, though, it shows that she's willing to get the public involved, or at least use publicity as a weapon. She won't be allowed on Lamau. I wonder, because if Elon was smart, and I don't mean if he was diabolically smart. Let's say he was evil smart. Not oh, I need to think about what's best for the kid, or just I need to think about what's best for me and my legacy, and I'm a god amongst men. I'm the richest man on the planet. How an evil billionaire would fucking think. Please point me to all the non-evil billionaires, please. He won't let her on the compound. Also, I don't know many people who have a compound for all of their wives and children. And you calling it the compound immediately makes the odds of it being evil up 80-90%. It's not even close. I got nothing else to say about it. It's just sad. It's just sad.